Hey YouTube, so another Guitar Safari. Doing an intro. I've already recorded all this, but seeing as I was doing the live stream last night, the sound it automatically turns all the mics down. Woo! So, but there was something that was really annoying me about this bass anyway. So, I will see you when I get back from being out in the car. Welcome back. So, I should do that. Hey YouTube, another Guitar Safari. People must be selling stuff that they didn't want for Christmas. So I'm off to Falkirk. Yeah, where Wallace fought. Well, I mentioned it definitely. Falkirk. Aye. So P-Bass. I'm just a wee beginner set of Gear for Music one. Generally, I quite like the Gear for Music stuff. It feels cheap, but it works. To a certain extent it looks cheap, but it works. So it's kind of quite different from your Harley Benton, which is, it looks good but it's shite. So yeah, Mucky Bass I think. Saw it last night after my live stream, and I'm not one for making bids on eBay and stuff like that when I'm drunk, buying things I didn't mean. Facebook Marketplace. Let's see what happens. If you drive to Falkirk, it'd be nice. I'll use the time to try and work out how to use find out what my fuel consumption in this Camaro is. That's what I want to know. I want to know whether I'm driving sensibly. I should be getting...
At the T-junction, left turn.
It says in the book I should be getting 60 plus miles to the gallon. It's like... I think I'm driving very sensibly, so I'm hoping I get more than that. So if I'm getting 70, I'm going to start driving like a lunatic and see what happens to the fuel consumption. I have noticed a little bit being more likely to pull out at junctions. Basically just, I don't know if it's a case of being more impatient, but it's just that I've got the ability to do it. Sometimes it's safer. Safe overtaking. Safe acceleration. Yes, that's why I want fast cars. Not because you just want to go hang. Right, I'll see you when I get closer. I think it's time for the customary selkie shot, seeing as we're there. Come up out the gloom. The sun was almost going to come out there. I was actually going to bring a J-Pax guitar and go in and stop at the bottom of it, I couldn't be bothered. And this old sat-nav it's old, just tried to use it, but in 2011 a lot of things have changed. I made a wrong turn there because it didn't tell me to stay on the motorway. It's like, no, that's fine, I did M876. Whereas most sat-navs say stay in the right-hand lane. But no. Well, they're by the Selkies there. I suppose they are quite dramatic. I don't know if you can see them because of weather. Yeah, see, so it's quite dramatic. Glad they did it. Well, maybe quite bad for this junction. You're trying to put it somewhere boring where you're not going to do anything. There must be something like that. So I will put this amazing big art sculpture. We're going to put it on this really busy roundabout that you have to really concentrate at. You want it on a big boring bit when there's nothing to look at. So there are a few bits of that on this motorway. So not there yet. Trying to be a bit more dynamic. Not talking as much pish, maybe 3 or 4 little 1.5 minute, 2 minute segments of places of interest, etc. And then I'll do at the end of this video I can be playing the bass. It comes with a bag, I hope it comes with a lead. Converse All Stars, couple of pairs of socks, t-shirt, jumper, pair of jeans. This is not telling me to come off here. So, mission successful. Got myself a tobacco brown P-bass and a 10 watt, 15 watt bass amp in a bag. So I'll just recycle that and hopefully it'll pay for the petrol and come and get it. It just depends whether I decide to make it a bucky bass or not. Not sure. Yeah, it looks alright. It's got. I was kind of after a wee bit for the amp. Wee Mark, the Shark, Mark 1. That's what the company's called. So it's quite funny. His wee boy's just bought a bass amp. I don't know if he's got an amp yet. I don't know, it's quite small, but I've often said before, it's like if you're going to play bass guitar, you do need really a bass amp rather than just a guitar amp, and especially not like a wee 10 watt guitar amp. You can work for, you get away with it with a bigger guitar amp, you know, if you have it down low, because the speaker's big enough to actually sort of do the bass. But this is an actual wee tiny bass amp, so it should be alright. Not as good as the wee Roland Coupe, but hey, gotta be worth a tenner. And then the gig bags, a bass gig bag at that. It is a bit one of those. It's like just a bit of vinyl with a zip on it. It's not exactly a good gig bag, but it does have a shoulder strap. I'm in the way of thinking that a bag that takes a guitar is worth a fiver. A bag that takes a bass is worth a tenner. That's kind of it. And then you get like a padded one, which is worth 20 quid, or you get various grades of how I class gig bags. I got a gig bag with it, did you? I was like, a fancy one? No. Welcome back. I was sure I can find it when I'm editing. Yes, so Gear for Music P-bass. I've already done this video with bad sound, or no sound, I think, but it was really annoying me. What I thought had happened was, see the way a P-bass pickup's held in, it's basically sitting on a piece of sort of sticky back foam stuff, and then the screws, and then it's like the foam holds it up, the screws hold it down. Well, this string, the D and the G string were really quiet, and it was because it was sitting, and I think it had fallen off the foam. And I was looking at it, and I did that last video. That's basically why I'm back on now. And then I noticed it. It's all worked out well. The magnet had fallen off the back of the pickup as well, because as a symptom of when this bass was built, when they put the piece of foam in, it's not gone quite in the right place, which has meant the pickups ended up sitting more on one side of the foam, so it sits at a funny angle, and then somebody's tried to adjust it and they've knocked the magnet off it. So it wasn't broken, but it wasn't working properly. This is not brand new, so that might have happened to it later. I'm just kind of going over the quality level of this bass. I said in a previous video, the wee Gear for Music short scale P bass, which done a couple. There's a couple of JPACs ones, and I bought one for myself and made a Buckycaster for last year's downloads. They played really good, sounded really good, but you could tell by looking at them they were really cheap. You know, they'd not gone for. It felt like it's not arguing cheap. It's like the same as that Fastly. It was the same thing. It's like, yeah, it's not expensive, but it totally works. It's really good. You know, it's like, this is a step up from that. It doesn't seem. It's not noticeably really cheap, apart from the fact it says Gear for Music on it. But it didn't say Gear for Music on it. I don't know. It's just a step above the cheap stuff. The body looks great. I assume it's some sort of veneer on it or something. Maybe not. I don't know. In very good condition. Never been played. Still got the cellophane on it and stuff like that. It's kind of a shame to turn this into a Buckycaster, but I've kind of got to. It's a Buckycaster or a JPAC, isn't it? But as I was saying earlier on, the neck on this is a real beast. It's quite different from anything else. It's almost like a Jackson guitar neck. It's got big shoulders up here, and or we totally sure I would much have, especially on a cheaper bass, I would much rather have a thicker neck. That's less likely to twist and bend. So thicker neck right up for it is definitely a good idea on anything that's okay. This is a hand built premium £2,000 guitar. Yeah, you can put a thin neck on that, but don't be putting thin necks on anything else. Not that I really like thin necks. It's so different now that those strings are the same volume. So you may have noticed the Marshall's working. So what I did was I just turned it on. It seemed to be working. I was going to use this. Actually came with an amp, but I assume this probably was a starter pack. It's good for that. If you like a deep sound, then you need more than it's not. It's not very deep. It's only that thick. It is a 15-watt bass amp, and to be honest, I knew that was worth it. I was kind of curious about it. I was thinking it's probably worth a tenner or something. But it kind of doesn't really work. Well, I just mean as a concept. It's not big enough for a bass amp. Just a bit of review of it. But it came with review the gig bag that it came with. This, as I said, this is possibly. See, I wouldn't sell it to you for a tenner. This is maybe a fifth. I don't think it's a £20 gig bag. I'm talking about value right now, not how much it costs new, because this is a gig bag for a bass. If it was a big bag for a guitar, yeah, it'd be pushing it. It'd be a tenner one. If it was for a guitar, this would be worth a tenner because it's quite clean. It's clean, and it's got some sort of padding, but it's got the shoulder strap. That makes it the tenner. If it had less padding, or it didn't have the shoulder strap, or it was a bit dirty, it wouldn't make the tenner. It'd be a fiver bag. But because it's a bass, 15. If you offered me 15 quid hard cash for it, would I take it? I'd have to think about it. Depends if maybe it's just because I'm really short of big gig bags, and some of my really nice basses are in gig bags that aren't end like as nice as that one. You know what I mean? I think any bass gig bag's worth a tenner. Even the bin bag with a zip and no, just the carrying handle, the Ritter ones. Yes, but the amp. Yeah, no. It's not as good as having a big amp. I really like this bass actually. In fact, maybe it's fate. Do you know it's got a neck a bit like this? See that jazz bass? It kind of got a similar sort of feel. So does Jen's J-Pack bass has a neck like this. I don't know what it must be from something, but it's not from. What's my Schecter? A 54 P bass. That I'm totally used to. That to me, that is a P bass neck. There might be other versions of a P bass neck. It just so happens that any ones I've got have been based on the 54, not the 58 or whatever. It's nice and thick. But frets, all good. Pickups, great now that I've done that adjusting thing. But you could do it. There wasn't any guitar wizardry involved. You just have to be one of those people that's able to put up a shelf without setting fire to themselves. You know, like without needing to look up, watch an hour worth of YouTube videos to do it. It's just like literally just take out the screws. Oh, the magnet's fallen off. Put it back when it's meant to go, and then move the foam thing. Put it back on again. And then I did a wee bit of adjustment of the truss rod. But it could be a few years old. It's unlikely. It looks brand new, but it's unlikely a year old. I think normally you wait a couple of years. And I mean, it could be brand new. Maybe it came for Christmas. maybe it's only a couple of weeks old. I really don't know. The tuners turned really, really nicely. Like the tuners, probably just because they're new, turn nicer than most of my basses. And for some reason, I keep playing that. So it's really nice. That's the app just going. I'm still going to use the speaker. I need to. I don't know. It could just be something like a dry solder joint, but that's it dead. So, I suppose I'll finish off this video by hearing the great output of the. I think maybe the way to do this is to have the volume down at. That's the treble down at nothing. I put the volume down and kind of build it up. See if I can get a decent sound without it farting. Well, you can still use it. I mean. Yeah, I mean, okay. The first bit of the video, which is you can actually see in the edit machine there, where sound probably was fucked. Woo! It was just farting to death, but that's with the volume at 1, and I think at that point it can take the bass. And it's pure thin. It's also got a kickstand on it, so you can hit this like a monitor wedge. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe I'll put it in the ground, it'll sound better. Pointing up at me. Where's the mic? Your mic's up there somewhere. It's even at that volume, it's a bit farty, isn't it? Because the thing about a bass is, okay, you can just play the thin strings, but that's not how you play the bass. You use the bottom E whenever you can, because it's only from there down. Those are the only notes the guitarist doesn't have. He's got all these ones. You know what I mean? It's kind of gone into that category of sort of in the relatively controllable fuzz stage. So it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound clean though. But it's a relatively pleasant and usable, even across all the strings sound. It's just because I like Sabbath though. It kind of works with that sort of thing. Andy, is going to be difficult. Okay, so I've kind of changed my tune on this wee amp since the last thing, assuming it's coming through a bit. It's alright, that's an alright sound. It doesn't go very loud. I think you start turning doesn't matter whether you've got the amp up loud or whether you've got the bass up loud. It's the speakers just. I don't think it's blown. I don't think it's damaged. I think it's just you can't really. I was thinking because it was a bass amp, it's maybe got some sort of thing. But I think one of the things with the bass amp, apart from that Roland Cube, which has got fancy trickery pokery with 4 speakers and doing things to make it sound proper size. Basically, a bass amp you just want bigger, better bass amp. You know, have 400 watts and have it on one rather than having 200 watts and having it up full. You know what I mean? Or having it at half. Headroom and all that. This is none. But I mean, if that's something I'm thinking, obviously, you're going to, if you're playing the bass, you're going to be jamming along with your pals, aren't you? And they're going to have possibly, I don't know, Black Starfly or even like a wee 20 watt Marshall. You're not compete with that. Or an acoustic and they play loudly. No. So I'll go for half volume then. Oh, that's totally overloading that mic, isn't it? It's that one, isn't it? Let's be honest, I can play with that, I'm fine. It's like that whole thing, when you've got it turned up like that, all the notes fuzz and burst and sound broken, the same. It's just when you've got just the lower notes buzzing, it doesn't sound like you meant it. It's horrible, isn't it? Really. I like this bass. It's good. So I'm interested to see what I end up doing with it. Don't know. There's no point in keeping it. No, I'm enjoying playing it. Just enjoy playing it. Why not? And the thing is, I know that after I've had it I've been playing it for a week or something like that, I'll be able to tweak it and it'll be much better. But it's kind of it's fucking all right just now. I'm enjoying the neck shape, and maybe just something a bit of P bass. I would have this over. Obviously, if you offered me this or like one of your Ibanez sound gears or something like that, you know, the kind of bass I'm talking about, they're much better basses. If you offered me, do you want to, which one of these would you like to have? I would take the Ibanez sound gear and sell it. But if you offered me which one do you want to play when we're having a wee jam just now? Yeah, wee P bass. Sounds wee shitty amp, which is, I mean, it's way, 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 way better than not having an amp. Rock on! And this might be a wee bit late because I've got to edit the bastard. Damn it! And that fuzzy bit, I might have to edit that. See you later in the week. Like and subscribe.